Hello, maybe you'd like to start hand knitting but don't know where to start. My advice and knowledge is based upon years of trial and error and of having a go. I've learnt from my mistakes, but I've also learnt from my achievements. In this video, I'm going to show you how to start hand knitting English style, throwing style, and therefore you can start your own projects and have fun along the way. So to have a go at knitting, we're going to need some needles and some yarn. I'd recommend going for either a double knitting or maybe an Aran yarn, and something that's not too fluffy either, because the fluff can, well, distract you somewhat. So something with a bit smoother, such as this one, and a couple of knitting needles, maybe a 4mm or 5mm, just because they're a bit more easy to use in your hands. So let's start knitting. I'm going to be showing you cable cast on knitting English style, and I am right-handed, just for the demonstration so we know. I've got a ball of yarn and I've got my 2 knitting needles. To get started, we need to make a slip knot. Very simply done by simply wrapping the yarn around the tip of your finger and that loop there, passing the length of yarn through it to create a knot. We'll leave this tail here. Generally this tail is useful for stitching up your work, or you can sew it into your work once you've finished. Take one needle, pop it through the slip knot and tighten that up. Not too tight because we want to be able to stick a needle in now. So get the other needle. We've got one stitch, hurrah, that's done already. Now to create the second stitch, we simply go from left to right, popping the needle through, left to right, and then cross the needle so this right hand needle is at the back. Take the yarn, wrap it around the back of the needle and through the centre of them, and then I use my index finger on my left hand for this, just to sort of gently push the tip of that needle. And here we can see where that yarn has been passed around the back and through the centre. That's the yarn there. So pull that forward and now pop that onto the left hand needle. That is stitch number 2. You can continue in the exact same way, going left to right with the stitch round the back to create another stitch. But I do find to get a nice neat edge, it looks nicer if you go in between the stitches. So you can see there's stitch 2 there and stitch 3 here, and there's the 2 legs of this stitch. If we go in between with the needle down the line, it makes a nicer edge. So we're going through, wrap the yarn around the back, through the centre, and again just gently tap that needle point there to collect this stitch that's here, and then pop that onto the left hand needle. So we'll do that again nice and slowly. So there's the 2 legs of that last stitch in between with the needle. Cross it so the right hand needle's at the back, left hand needle's at the front. Then we take the yarn around the back of everything, through the centre of that cross, and then we'll gradually collect that yarn that we've just wrapped around, and that's the next stitch. Pop it on the left hand needle. Before you pull that stitch tight, this is a good time to stick your needle in between. So there's the 2 legs of that stitch. Pop the needle in between, yarn around the back, through the centre, collect that stitch, pop it on the needle. Through the centre of the stitches, the right hand needles at the back, the left hand needles at the front, yarn around the back, through the centre, collect that stitch. So if I just keep doing this, you can see a few stitches being created. And obviously in time you get quicker and quicker at doing this. I'm going slow to help you learn. So we've got quite a few stitches on here now. So for demonstration purposes, we've got some there. Can you see here, that's quite a nice neat edge, whereas the start's a bit loopy and not quite as nice. that's going in between the stitches. That's how that creates that nice neat edge. To do a first row of knitting, see I'm gently teasing this so I can get my needle in. The first stitch, we want to put the right hand needle left to right, and we're not going through both legs now. I'm not doing that at all. We're just going to go through the front leg of that stitch, and it's the same action as we were just doing. So the yarn goes around the back of everything, through the centre, and we collect that stitch. Now then, what we do different this time, we're going to leave this stitch on the right hand needle, and the stitch that's on the left hand needle, we're just going to pop him off there. So there we go. We've now got one stitch on the right hand needle. So we're going to work this next stitch now on the left hand needle. So same thing, left to right, just the front leg. The yarn goes around the back, through the centre, collect this stitch, and off it goes onto the right hand needle. Stitch 3, left to right, through the centre there. Right hand needle at the back, the yarn goes around the back, through the centre. When I collect that stitch onto the right hand needle, drop it off. Left to right, the yarn goes around the back, through the centre, collect that stitch, and we finish with the stitch on the left hand needle now, so we can drop off there. Left to right, round the back, through the centre, collect that stitch, and that's how we work across the row. Okay, so that is row 1. And then to do row 2, we need to turn it so that these stitches are now the left needle, so they go over there, and now this needle becomes the right needle, and it's the same procedure. So to do the next row, we get the needle and we go left to right through the front leg of this stitch. So the needles are crossed again, right hand needle at the back. Take the yarn round the back, through the centre, collect that stitch, drop it off the left hand needle because now it's moved onto the right hand needle. Through left to right, round the back through the centre, collect that stitch, drop it off the left hand needle onto the right hand needle. There we go. And this way we're doing row 2. When you're doing knit stitches, you're creating lots of loops, and I just want to show you, we've just created row 2 here, and there's the loops there, and row 1, these are the loops there. So same thing again, to do row 3, we want to make this needle now the left hand needle, swap the needles around, and we'll do the exact same thing again. So we're going through the stitches left to right, just through the front leg, round the back through the centre, take that stitch, drop this one on the left hand needle. We've finished with that now because it's going onto the right hand needle, and we'll work our way across. And what we're also doing now is creating another row of loops. So let me show you. So I've just done row 3, which is this row of loops. Row 2 is on this side, and row 3 is here. So that's how you can count your rows. So 1, 2, 3. But obviously, as you've got more work, you just count in between 1, 2, 3, 4. So hopefully that shows you how to do a basic knit stitch. My other videos will show sewing, knitting, and inspiration for you to create your own unique wardrobe. If you like what you've seen in this video, please hit subscribe and the bell button to get notifications. Then you can follow me along for lots more creative fun. Thank you.